This one will be short and sweet. So, basically, what this has over the base firmware from Awalol, which was brilliant in its own terms, is that on top of the standard features that you have, meaning what type of controller you're connecting, Dualsense or Dualsense Edge, how long we will wait until the automatic disconnect, or the polling rate, will it be 1 MHz or 250? Yeah, on top of all this, plus the wake, which is also in Awalol's version, but a bit more complex here, you have automatic haptics, you have trigger effects, you have gyro, right stick inversion, you have macros, you have your game slots. We will go more in depth on each of these, but in a different video. This will be just the base. So, haptics. This allows you to generate automatic haptics the way Sony does it, or probably because, yeah, their SDK is proprietary. But for all the games that don't support it, how this does work actually? It takes your game audio, you do some DSP, and that's it. You get your haptics. But what you can do with it is much more complex. And we'll definitely go in depth into this. What you need to know right now is you can get your haptics, you can mix it with actual rumble from the game, not just haptics which are generated from audio. You can get your audio speaker effects, meaning you remember in Ratchet & Clank how you hear your weapons fire? Yeah, you can get that here too, but not get your speech from the characters, which is good. You do need to play around a bit with this to get it perfect, but or at least as perfect as it can be. If you decide to use it, it's here. What else? You also have here this, which is not in the base firmware. This is the smoothing, the anti-alias filter. This allows you to cure any gritty haptics in native games. Whoever played God of War Ragnarok with the original Dualsense and the haptics, and the native firmware from Awalol knows what I'm talking about, but you have it if you want to use it. Moving forward, because there is a lot to cover. You also have your trigger effects. 3 things to note here, actually 5, but let's start with the base. You have vibrations in your triggers from haptics if you want them. You can do that gated or all the time, meaning what is gated? It means your L2 trigger vibrates when you shoot with R2, but it doesn't vibrate all the time. This is actually useful for when you fire your weapon and want your trigger to vibrate. What you have also here, various types of trigger effects. What these are? Resistance. It could be constant. It could be ramped, meaning if you're playing a racing game, you can start with small resistance, get bigger resistance, or vice versa. Or when you're firing a ball, for example, you can feel this pressure. You also have 2-stage detent. What this means is you can set up a specific point in the trigger, meaning if you divide it in zones, you can have specific resistance in one zone, specific resistance in another zone. And you can have the weapon break or snap it through, meaning that when you fire your trigger on the weapon, once the shot is fired, it suddenly releases the resistance. What is interesting about this mode, which is the synthesized mode of adaptive triggers, is that it can react to game effects. And I repeat this, it can react to game effects. And this is very, very awesome. Because if you're shooting your weapon, for example, in a game like Control, once you fire the trigger, you get a specific vibration from the game. And this vibration is transferred to a pushback of your finger, if you want it, of course. And at the same time, you can set up a vibration. So imagine this, and this is a real scenario. You fire a weapon in Control, your right trigger releases after the shot, and your left trigger vibrates from that pump action. Yes, you can get that. On top of that, you have very interesting things like the pulling effects from native games. Let's say you like a specific effect in God of War Ragnarok, you want to put it in God of War 2018. Yeah, you can do that right here, right now. Or you can put an effect from Horizon Zero Dawn in God of War 2018. You can also do that. You have your game effects builder. Let me show you. Resistance. 9 zones. Zone 1, 2, 3. Let's say you add it here, like this. Vibration. Zone 6 to 7. Frequency of vibration. 39. Strength of vibration. 50. And there you go. And you can add 5 effects like this. You can save them, you can export them, you can read them from profiles which were already created and export them. Yeah, it's all here. And it's good. Moving forward, gyrostic. Yep, gyrostic is here. Gyrostic is good. If you want to use it, you can. You can use it gated, meaning you press your certain button and the gyro works. You don't press it, it doesn't. Or you can use it all the time. Or you can use it ratcheted. You press your touchpad, doesn't work. You don't press it, it works, etc. It's very simple, it's very good. Right stick. Obviously, if you're inverting your gyro like this, you probably want to invert your right stick as well, because they're both used for aiming. Next, macros. Yep, we finally have them, guys, and they're the same or close enough to DS4 Windows. What this allows you to set up a certain macro in a game that you want to use. Let's say you want to quick select a weapon, or you want to quick save, or you want to quick load. You can do this via the touchpad, swiping from right, swiping from left, swiping in any direction from right or left. You can press, you can do anything you want, and it's capturing also the time that you press, meaning the time that you press your button on the controller. If you have a picker, so you can select all sorts of combinations here, no issue. Finally, slots. What are these? Yeah, every setting that you make here, you can save in a particular slot for a particular game. And what this allows you later to do is export all of them, or you can use the automation already provided here if you're a fan of Play Night, and you can auto-activate your slot with a particular game. Let's say you want to have Resident Evil 4 slot here with specific settings, specific trigger settings, specific haptic settings, specific speaker leakage settings. Yep, you can automatically activate them, and when the game is done, it just reverts to any slot of your choice back as a default one. So basically that's it. Very easy to flash, very easy to reflash the next version, because you don't even have to press the button on the actual dongle. You just can reboot to bootloader and you're done. You can export the profiles to HTML files, which can be auto-loaded on double press, or you can export them to JSON files, which are also easy to import through this button. You also have a shared games library here, and you also have a shared trigger library here. Everything created by me. So basically that's it. Enjoy and start creating.